Yo guys, welcome to the launch of our brand new campaign, #NoExcuseForAbuse. It is a movement we have created in form of a podcast. We have some special guests with us today, Xavier, Joanna, Jack, who will give us their insight. But before we begin, let's start with Wayne just to find out about why you're doing this.
Well, you know, I've been taking abuse for probably 30 years now, ever since back in the day when I was Gary's brother, as I was known. And and it's just been a continual involvement of abuse until recently. It's got a lot worse. But you know, I'm pretty thick-skinned, but when it comes to my family reading these things, you know, it's very hard to say it doesn't affect me, because it does. But you know, I then saw an article in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago, and by a certain Ali Ross, and you know, he said I should change my name to Wanker. And I thought that was just below the belt. You know, that's literally trolling in the papers. And and with that in mind, I then decided to try and make a difference, to help, and to be part of a movement that changes a lot of online and media stuff regarding trolling and abuse.
So since that article triggered the whole concept in the first place, do you feel like it was a blessing in disguise by addressing? Because the response you've had since then, it's almost like you feel like this is something you have to do now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was a blessing in disguise in a funny kind of way, because, you know, it has alerted me to try and get involved and try and make a difference. And you know what the funny thing is? Since I did that article, I've received nothing. But since I posted that about the article, I've received nothing but love. And since then, it's been the same ever since. And it seems the abuse has stopped overnight. I'm sure that's only temporary at the moment, but yeah, so it just shows to me that, you know, we are doing something right, and so there is a chance that we can take this further and put an end to all this.
And I wanted to ask Xavier, as someone who's a life coach, how involved is mental health when it comes to online abuse?
To be fair, it's everything. The person that's doing it probably most likely comes from a very difficult place. It's said that hurt people hurt people. And I've always seen, like online, like if I've seen someone doing really well, I'd look at them and go, oh my goodness, that's amazing. I want to congratulate them. There are certain things that other people see it as, why are you doing so good and why you? So they'd want to abuse them. And it's literally just a mindset that if you get it right, cool. If you get it wrong, then you're going to be getting all types of abuse. And you haven't done anything wrong. You don't have to do anything wrong. But if a hurt person reads your post, or they see a picture or whatever, you're getting where they are coming from. Whereas if somebody's in a place of love or an appreciation, you're getting the same thing. Same picture, two different people, two different posts.
So Jack, I wanted to talk to you because as someone who's a public figure, I know you're very, very passionate about this kind of stuff as well. Yeah. Where do you think it stems from?
Yeah, I mean, I remember before being on Love Island, I remember I was personal training, and I was training some of the people who are in the limelight, you know, reality TV stars. And they'd come into me and be trained. But I'd say 9 times out of 10, they'd always say something negative that's happened to them in their life during that session. It's like, you know, working out is amazing for the body, but also for the mind. And I think, again, 9 times out of 10, it was something that was going online. And I kind of just thought to myself, why don't you just turn your Instagram on? Like, why don't you just, you know, back in the day when there was no social media, you just close the door, your home is your home. Now people are able to actually come into your home through the phone.
Recently read something in an article that said that the agents are advising them not to respond to it because it's going to invite more. Do you think that's the right thing to do? How do you think it should be addressed?
It's a tricky one. It's a difficult one, because you don't, for me, if I see any sort of, you know, trolling on my gram or Twitter or whatever, I don't react, because once you react, they think, cool, I've got you. Yeah. I've got you now. I can get a reaction out of you. So I get what they're saying, but I don't react to it. But what can they do? You know, something's got to happen. If it's not coming from the person who's been affected, you know, a football player, reality star, whatever, it has to come from the boards above, i.e. Instagram, Twitter. Like.
It has to come from above, you know. the person opening the social media account has to become identifiable.
As a female influential person who's also in the public eye, do you experience it different? Is it worse? Because a lot of people think, trolls are just guys with fake accounts, but do you get some bitterness from other women as well?
I think actually, I don't know from a boys' point of view, but I think girls get it a lot because of our appearance, like how much we show our bodies on social media as well. But obviously the way I deal with it, I just ignore it. I just literally, if I get a negative DM, like when I come out of the villa, I got trolled a lot. I'd say, so if there was 10 comments or 10 DMs, like 9 of them would be really, really negative and really bad. And my sister actually went through my phone and was blocking them. She was logging into my account, actually blocking every negative word. Like she was like deleting all these DMs. And I said, no, I need to know what I'm dealing with because I don't know how dangerous it is. And I don't know if I'm gonna go out on the street and then something happens and I'm thinking I'm getting loved because all the negative comments are being deleted. So I actually had to say, no, I need to see them. I need to understand how people see me and how people view me. But if I do get trolled or anything, I actually do just, I ignore the DM. I don't report it or anything because I just think there's not a lot anymore. There was, but how many DMs am I going to block? How many comments, how many words am I going to block out of being commented on my story and stuff? And or my picture. So it's just really hard. It is definitely hard.
And out of all these trolls and messages, how many of those do you even experience in real life? I bet barely any, right?
No. I mean, I've done personal appearances up and down the country, and there's literally over hundreds. It's there's never ever been someone who's come up to me personally and had something bad to say. They're not saying there's nothing bad about me, but it's just funny how people get carried away behind the screen.
Yeah, it's like when people come to Ocean, they ask me for a selfie, and probably 2 out of 10 of them have probably been abusing me in the past.
With what's happened now and you've launched this campaign, is it like making you rethink your ways, or do you feel like you've got a responsibility to kind of just not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a stage in my life now where I don't want this party image that I've created for myself. And I know I lay my own bed sometimes with the things I post. So I've got a good chance here of turning my image around a little bit and people's perception of me. So I'm going to be very wary of what I post in the future and keep my content a lot cleaner and less, less visual for attacks by trolls.
Xavier, I was going to say to you as well, but you raised a good point. Where is the line, do you think, in your opinion, between being held accountable, especially if you're in the public eye, because the public will grill you if you do something wrong, bad, controversial, and then this is just getting a bit abusive now, and do you have a right to do that? Where do you think the balance is?
You kind of set the line yourself. For me, I set the line myself. One of the things about my account, my account's closed because when people come in, it's not an ego thing or anything else, but it's just because for me to do life coaching, if you don't want to press follow on my account, then it's cool. We don't need to be there. But people usually come on my account, we talk and we connect. Now, there's stuff that I put up that people do not agree with, but I don't post much. It's on my story, so people abuse me in my inbox constantly, and I block them.
I think I just like to be aware of what people think about me, just so I'm protecting myself and the safety of myself, of course. But yeah, it's just, I don't even block, because I even think blocking makes it like you're too bothered. So I sort of just leave it, I don't even accept them. I'm aware of them, so I read through them, but I don't even block. So I'm just like, if I block, they know they've got to me, and I'll create another account and stuff. So I just don't even block anymore. And hopefully, eventually it does die down, but it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to ask you guys, Jack, Joanna, we've all lost friends out of that have been on the show, for example, and I think they went into the show with a small following and came out with a huge following, and they started doing promotional posts and started getting abuse from that. And it must have been too much for them to take mentally. Some people are mentally stronger than others, and just really, what's your opinion of it? How did it affect you when you came out of the show?
What I can say is that you are not prepared. There's nothing anyone could tell me or teach me to prepare me for what I came out to. It was like a different world. It was literally Jack from local area, PT, to being known all over the UK, Europe, and America. It was not, and I think you have to have a very thick skin and kind of be able to adapt really well to different things. And for me, what was so beautiful, I suppose, is that my family, my friends, always stayed the same, and they treated me like I was Jack. before Love Island. You know, I'd come home to my mum would be like, you know what, Jack, you might be Jack Fowler out there, but come do the washing up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And for me, that's
what saved
really,
you.
that's what saved me. Genuinely, and I said to my boys, I said, boys, listen, you know, because I used Michael as a reference. Even when I was in Love Island, I used Michael as a reference in my mind. I thought, you know, I don't want to be in the mindset that Mike ended up in. So what can I say? What can I do differently to him? And I said to my friends straight away, I said, look, if I have a downtime or I feel really down, like I will come to you and I want you to know that. And he was like, Jack, we need you to come to us. If you don't come to us, we'll be even more upset.
I want to ask you this. Do you think influential people need to be more cautious and responsible for who they are and what they post? Or do you think trolls need to be held more accountable for what they're allowed to say and do?
It's more about the trolls for me and not necessarily the people. I do think that there is, if you go on a show like that and you are given that amount of influence and that amount of power, then you kind of sell yourself to the public, to your public. So there is a care of duty, if you will. And as much as I don't agree with it, because it's like, I didn't ask for you, you come here of your own volition, you know, I didn't say for you to come and follow me. But people that troll, Wayne said it earlier on, if there's a way that people could be held accountable for what they say, then they'll be more cautious as to what they say.
It's almost like therapy, isn't it? You sit down talking to me.
It's the reason why I do exactly what I do. And that's exactly it. Because they are suffering, so they want other people to suffer, to experience what they experience. And some people try to cure things that they can't cure in themselves in other people.
That is mad.
Let me just write that one down.
I've been trying my hardest to hold it down.
What you said was sick because it spun him into be able to say that.
Yeah,
That was
That's your fault.
Sorry.
Oh,
I weren't trying to be that.
Wait, we've solved the whole campaign. Xavier's going to heal all of the trolls. That's amazing.
That's your fault.
Thank you guys. Thank you.